Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. The book that I have read recently was Caribbean Newpaperman, an autobiography, The Life and Times of Jimmy Cozier. It's about a man called Jimmy Cozier and what he did for the newspaper industry in the West Indies. He was from Barbados, helped to kind of influence and kind of make a thing of newspapers in Barbados, in Trinidad and Tobago, and there's lots of other islands mentioned as well. But what was really interesting about this book is the fact that he talks about, and there's one picture of my great-grandfather in here, which is my mum's father. But my mum was born in Trinidad and my grandparents on that side were from Barbados, and I've still got lots of family out there in both Barbados and Trinidad. It's really interesting, and actually thanks to this book I was able to add a little bit more to my family tree, which was really cool. But yeah, it's such an interesting read. If you're interested in kind of just journalism and the newspaper industry, it's one to read if you like a good biography. It's really good. As you can see, it's not the biggest book. It probably only took me a few days to read it because I was reading it in bits. And it's 182 pages. And there's pictures in there. I have to get the picture of my great-granddad because it's just so cool that he's in here. When my mum realised I was reading this, when I said, oh, I think there might be a picture of great-granddad in here, she looked at the picture and she was able to point him out straight away without even us trying to figure out where his picture was. Oh, where is it? But yes, so that is my great-granddad. Is it focusing? His name was Conrad, but everybody knew him as Louis. And he also had a brother called Valence that everybody referred to as Val. And they were part of the, it was actually Valence Senior. So Conrad and Valence's father owned the Barbados Advocate, which is a newspaper. And Jimmy Cozier came in and kind of just said, look, you need some help in getting this off the ground, basically. I think it ended a bit of, the newspaper kind of ended a bit of a stalemate, and he came in and kind of redid everything and made it the newspaper that people remembered and wanted to read. And Jimmy Cozier himself his life is quite incredible. There's a brief mention of his family at the beginning. It's just such an interesting read. If you like reading books just about the Caribbean and the West Indies, it would be really interesting to read because I admit, as I was reading it, he mentioned certain places and schools and stuff, and it was just like, I know where he's talking about because I've been to Barbados because my mum has taken us out there a couple of times just to see where my grandparents grew up. So there's mentions of my grandma's school in here, obviously there's mentions of my great-grandfather in here, and his brother. But yeah, it's just so interesting. And the back of the book, it's not a blurb, it's just a quote from the General Governor of Barbados, Hugh Springer, because this was written in 85, I want to say. So my battery died, so I had to switch out. The back of the book isn't a blurb, it's a quote from Sir Hugh Springer, who was the then Governor-General of Barbados. Yeah, the quote from him just says, not everyone has Jimmy Cozier's gifts as a writer, so it's good that he has been persuaded to publish his memoirs in a form more permanent than the pages of a newspaper. Others with interesting experiences and the ability to record them in a lively style should be encouraged to publish their recollections of their times for the pleasure and profit of their contemporaries and of posterity. Such accounts will provide material that will enliven and humanise the work of future historians of Barbados and the West Indies. Really interesting to read about. You hear a little bit about the island, we see about his life and his influence on the business of newspapers in the West Indies, and the amount of stuff that he did was incredible. He was with the Barbados Advocate for quite a while. He even tried to buy out the Advocate at one point, which I did not know about, and my grandfather and his brother rejected him, and then they actually sold a majority share to somebody else a couple of years later. but you know, the newspaper is still in the family. There's still family members who still work at the Advocate, so hi to the Gale family. I'm working on my family tree, so if you want to contact the Bartletts, please do. The fact that I was able to fill in some blanks on my family tree from reading this book was really, really cool. I actually went down quite a big hole of family tree stuff after reading this, and spent about 2 days on my family tree on my computer and doing research and stuff. And both my parents, because I've done family trees for both sides, I've been amazed at how much I've been able to do without paying any of these websites to get the information. Caribbean Newpaperman, The Life and Times of Jimmy Cozier, an autobiography, good if you like biographies, good if you like information about the West Indies and Barbados. You never know, there might be somebody else out there who might be able to add to their family tree if they've got family in Barbados, because it's a small island and everybody knows each other. We're pretty sure everybody's related to each other. My brother-in-law is even convinced that we're related to Rihanna. Through the family tree stuff, I'll probably be able to determine that that is not the case, but Nick can keep dreaming that we're related to Rihanna if he wants. Yeah, so really, really good book, really interesting. Sorry, my voice is getting croakier and croakier. I've had a bit of cold and the croakiness is still there. So thank you for watching the video. My name is Debbie. This has been The Life and Times of Jimmy Cozier, an autobiography, and I've started a new book called Skellig, which is a book that we have no idea where it came from, but I've already read about half of it because it's quite a small book, so that'll be the next one. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I have been Debbie. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. I'll see you next week with a different video. Mwah. Stay safe, everybody.